Hello. Thank you so much for choosing to watch Motivation with Olivia on this YouTube channel. I thank you for being here and being part of this journey. I want to ask you, what does it mean to you to keep your word? What is it worth to you? And why is that important to keep your word? Because I've watched and I've observed successful people. The first thing about a successful person, they do what they say they are going to do. And that is where most of us, we fall off the bus. We fail because we make promises that we don't keep. We don't value our word. We don't honor what we say, right? How do you remedy that? How do you change from someone who just talk and never do anything to becoming someone when you say that you are going to do something, you are going to do it? And that is at the heart of true success. For you to keep your word, to do what you say that you are going to do, you need to value yourself. Why is that important, and where does this even fit together? Right? I mean, we are being told, like, I value myself. I have my nails done. I go for my hair. I go for my eyebrow waxing, and I wear expensive clothes. And I live in a nice house. Yes, these are all physical things. But do you truly value yourself? Are you kind to yourself? Are you compassionate when it comes to you? Do you speak to yourself with love, with patience? Do you treat yourself like a queen or a king? How do you value yourself when you take material things out of the equation? Because we think that's why there is something like sugar daddies, because we teach our young girls wrongly that in order for a man to show that he loves you, he must buy you stuff. And even if he treats you like dirt, my girl, just suck it up and just know that you are being treated like a queen. You live in this beautiful house, you drive this beautiful car, you wear expensive clothes. So don't mind him if he's cheating. Don't mind him if he's beating you now and then. Don't mind him if he treats you like dirt. That is so wrong, so twisted, and so confused. You value yourself when you learn how to protect your space, how you protect who you are, how you protect your safe space, your boundaries. In order to know, for you to do what you say that you are going to do, you need to have boundaries, and you must know what you want, what is important to you, and you must value yourself. Let's see, how how do you measure whether you value yourself or not? It's when you put your well-being, your mental, emotional, and psychological well-being above anything. When the moment that you feel uncomfortable or you don't feel safe or unsure, you get out. That is how you value yourself. But if you don't know how to trust your gut, if you don't know how to value who you are, if you don't have boundaries, you won't know how much you are worth. You don't know how much you matter and how much you count. If you measure your worth according to what you have, what people can see, your job, your position, your status, then you have no clue of what true value is. Have you ever seen a woman or a man that the world and everyone else convinces you that this person, they're just poor and nothing. He doesn't even have anything. Have you looked at that man or that woman and how they carry themselves with dignity, with pride, contentment, and confidence? How they can say no to an opportunity that everyone else say to them, you were such a fool to pass that up, but because they didn't feel comfortable with that opportunity, so they said no. You know why? Because they value themselves. They know what is important. They might realize that saying yes to this opportunity, it will disturb my peace, my well-being, my safety. It will disturb who I am deep within. For you to do what needs to be done, you must come from a place of safety, a place of love, a place of confidence, of certainty. And you start with the little things. Say, for instance, you say tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. Normally you wake up at 8 o'clock or 9, 10 o'clock. And you say, I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Do you? Or when the alarm goes off, do you say, oh, it's too early, I'll sleep till a little bit later? You didn't do what you said to yourself that you were going to do. Let's say, for instance, you say you want to lose weight. Tomorrow, I'm going to run. Or not even running. I'm going to take a walk. I'm going to walk for half an hour. I'm going to leave at 10 o'clock and I'll be walking. And 10 o'clock comes and you're like, you know what? I'll go tomorrow. There's this cool series on Netflix. You didn't do what you said you were going to do. Can you see how we dishonor ourselves with the little things that we do? That's why it's difficult to do the bigger things. Because if you can't commit to the little things that is within your power to do, then the big things will never happen. It will seem impossible. Let's look at, you have signed up for a course. Like maybe, I don't know, whatever course it is that you want to study. And you know, you have a certain amount of time to study, right? And you say to yourself, like you are a planner, like you plan your things. And you say, right, starting from next week, I'm going to study for an hour or say 30 minutes every day. And next week comes and you don't do it. You have not done what you said you were going to do. And then what happens? You keep on postponing. And before you know it, it's the day before the exam. You are under pressure. You can't focus. You are stressing. You are worried. You're just unhappy. How did it start? Because you didn't do what you said you were going to do. When you start doing what you say that you are going to do, you will get results that will surprise you. Last year, I started with a podcast and I said to myself, I'm going to do a podcast 5 days a week, every single day. The difference that made to my life was phenomenal. It was a simple thing. It wasn't a big thing. By doing that podcast every single day, Monday till Friday, it shifted something major in me. It was very, very simple. There was no equipment. All I had was my phone. But that was the commitment I made. What is the commitment that you can make to yourself? Just one thing that you can do every single day that will teach you to keep your word to yourself. And once you start honoring yourself, then you will start honoring other people. Then you are able to do what you say you are going to do. It's just like, and I think our children bear the brunt of us not keeping promises. It's like you say, like tomorrow at 5, we're going to the park. And come 5 o'clock, you're like, oh, no, I'm busy, I can't do this. But we promised, you promised, and we don't do it, right? I don't think there are people who break promises more than parents. And we make a promise with the best intention, with the utmost belief that we are going to fulfill this promise. But yet, we are the first ones to become defensive or irritated when our children remind us that this is what you said, Mommy, this is what you said, Daddy or Papa. And the truth is that every time we break a promise to a child, we are teaching that child that they don't matter. It's a painful thing to accept and to understand, but it's reality. Every time we break a promise to our children, we are saying to them that they don't matter. And whatever it is that we do is more important than them. And yes, we are building companies, we are building a better life, and sometimes things happen that it's not always possible to keep the promise. But how do you respond when you can't keep your word? Do you become defensive, angry, irritated? Or do you apologize and say, I'm truly sorry for letting you down? Because it's impossible to keep every single promise. But it's also not acceptable to always break a promise because you said something because you thought, it's what they wanted to hear. Let me just say it. No. Let your word be your honor. Take pride at what comes out of your mouth. Be the person who's known that when you say something is going to happen, it happens because you are there. It takes practice, persistence, commitment, and dedication. And it will also teach you to guard your mouth. Because now, instead of just agreeing to things because, just so this child can keep quiet, or this man can go away, or my boss can stop nagging, instead of having that attitude, it will now teach you courage. Because now you will be able to say, no, I can't agree to that because I've got other plans. Or I already have this amount of work. Or no, this is too last minute. Once you start honoring your word, you will start getting the courage to put yourself first. And you will begin to honor yourself. And you will also learn to do what needs to be done. And when you get to that point, miracles happen and life just flows. You no longer have to explain yourself constantly but you said and you didn't do it. You promised and you didn't do it. Now you can say, no, not gonna happen. It won't happen because of A, B, C, and D. You didn't make a promise. You didn't make a commitment. You didn't have to break anything. Because you have now found the courage You have found your voice. You have found your power. And through that, you have found the ability to do what needs to be done. You owe it to yourself. I thank you for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Please leave a comment, like and subscribe, and share wherever you can. Thank you so, so much.